Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the episode number 5 of the Gobbler Effect here on the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. It's been a while, but I'm Chris Pierce. That's head coach Joey Mullen of the Virginia Tech hockey team. Coach, like I said, it's been a minute. It's been a while, almost 2 months since our last episode. How you doing since?
Doing pretty well. Been a busy last probably 3 weeks here. A quick stretch run.
Yeah, you had a little winter break, and then you had some games in the past few weeks since we last talked here on the Gobbler Effect. So we're gonna rewind first and take us back to that first semester. You guys finished winning 5 out of your last 6 games. I just want to ask, what are your takeaways from that first part of this semester?
Thought we were pretty inconsistent at times. I don't think our record reflected how well we played at times, especially in that like Louisville showcase early in the year. I thought we could have had at minimum two of those games we should have probably won. Had some other games in the first semester that we didn't show up ready to play on time, and it kind of cost us a little bit. Um, Hopefully the little break got some guys refreshed, recharged, and ready to go for this 4 or 5 week stretch here.
Yeah, and also during that first semester, you had surprises, you had breakouts. Who do you think on that this team has really broken out into the star role or a role player that you really like to see their production increase as they well, I'd say probably a freshman or a sophomore, and who you want to see them produce more in the future from what you've seen so far this in the fall semester?
I mean, if you just look at our stats, you can see Cam Kazai has been on a tear ever since he got here, which is was kind of expected. We liked him in the recruits gate last spring, so we're excited to see him come in. I think a real pleasant surprise has been you and Andrew really taking off the last like 5, 6, 7 games. He's playing on that top line with Doozy and Cam, so he's getting plenty of chances. He's starting to find the back of the net, which is nice. I want to say he's second in our rookies in scoring this year. I think he's hit the 20-point mark already.
Yep.
So pretty good campaign for him coming out of Carolina.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Carolina, let's zip back to last weekend in a home and home weekend series against the NC State Ice Pack, a team where you haven't beaten them dating back to 2016. It's been almost more than 7 years in the making since you last beat the Ice Pack until last Saturday with the Gavin Meduzzi overtime winner. What was that moment for you guys like?
I think more than anything, it was just relief for these guys that have been in a ton of close games with this team. Like there's been most of the games I would say have been within 1 or 2 goals. There's been a few overtime games that could have gone either way. One went to a shootout. I mean, it's not that they've like overly dominated us. They've always had good teams. The last like 8 to 10 years, they've really been on an upward trajectory. So they were a good measuring stick every year to see where we were. It's nice to see this group of seniors finally come through and finish a game out against them when we've had some chances in the past and just couldn't get it done. They're a highly skilled team, pretty well coached. So it's a battle every time you're going to play them.
Yeah. You guys had a 3-2 loss on Friday night, a 3-2 victory on Saturday night. In both of those games, you had one line score most of the offensive production. On Friday night, you had Dutel, Gelman, and Salvato. That line produced all of your points. And then on Saturday night, you had Paduzzi, Kazai, and Andrew score all of the points. What does that say about the depth of that team that you can rely on any line to go out there and produce for you guys?
I mean, I think it's been, I mean, looking at our stats, you see what jumps out to everybody is Doozy and Cam have almost 90 points combined. And then there's a 20-point jump to the next guy. Doesn't mean that they're hands and above better than anybody else. It's just they consistently scored almost every game this year. They're just constantly putting the puck in the net. Uh, it's nice to see that we have balance between our second, third, and fourth lines. They're all chipping in. I thought Rocco's line was really good Friday night. They were the best line that we had, and I thought our fourth line played really well Friday night. They had long stretches when they would pin State into their end and do exactly what we asked them to do. And then jumping to Saturday, I think Doozy's line just had something in them where they weren't going to be denied that night. It was just one of those games where the puck found all of those guys. They put themselves in good positions to score goals. When we stay out of the box, it makes it easy for me to roll four lines and get everybody rolling into the game. And there's not a whole lot of teams that can skate with us. State's probably one of them. UNC's another one consistently with four lines. So whenever we get with those guys, it's always good battles, and you just got to limit your mistakes.
Yeah, one more question dating back to last weekend. Between the games, between Friday and Saturday night, what was your team's mental state in preparing you for Saturday night's game after a tough loss on Friday?
I would say Friday after the game, they were pretty, I wouldn't say upset, but more angry. I think we all felt like we potentially had a chance to win that thing and kind of let it slip away. A couple mental mistakes kind of cost us in the third period. Maybe the emotions got the best of us. Some taking a few too many penalties than what we would like. Um, so I think they were definitely focused. The week leading up to those two games, they were probably the best two practices we've had all year. Extremely focused. They came in with a mindset that they were gonna get some points this weekend, keep us out of that play-in game on Thursday night in the playoffs. So they accomplished that one goal, and I think just mentally getting over that hurdle of not beating that team is going to go a long way in the next few weekends.
Yeah, and now moving on to this weekend, you guys have Duke on Friday night, 7:30 p.m. start. It is senior night. You guys have seven players graduating this spring. What has this group of guys been like for you?
It's been a good group. They've not been ones to complain about anything. They've rolled with some punches that they probably didn't deserve. A few years ago, we had some academic issues that no one knew about till it was too late, and it cost some of these guys a trip to regionals. So that was disappointing. They've really taken an ownership of this team this year. It's a lot comes from the players. It makes it easy on me and Dave to they step up in locker room in between periods. We don't have to always say a lot. They've taken a lot of ownership of this season, and I'm excited to see what the outcome is going to be going into the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah. And as a coach, what have you learned from them about this game of hockey?
Probably more patience than anything. I think over the last couple years, I've definitely become a lot calmer behind the bench. Uh, Probably a testament to those guys. They stay pretty calm. They don't get too high, don't get too low. The biggest thing is I've never seen that group quit on any game. Doesn't matter what the score is, they will play to the very last whistle, give you everything they got. They always show up to practice. Like they're just a hardworking blue collar group, and it's starting to click and pay dividends now.
Yeah, and you guys are again play Duke on Friday night. Do you have a scouting report on them? What do you expect out of that game?
Uh, it's hard to tell. Duke's kind of been up and down the last few years. I know in the past when we were in the ACC before, they were a perennial powerhouse, winning championships. They were a really good program. They're well coached. They'll be a classy team. Uh, don't know what to expect. I only saw them play once up in DC. They had a pretty tough game with Richmond. I think if we come and play like we have the last few games, we should be able to handle it pretty confidently. But we don't take any teams lightly, so we're gonna come ready for practice this week, get focused, work on some stuff for the following weekend, and make sure we're tight and ready to go for playoffs.
Yeah, and speaking of the playoffs, let's get into that. You guys pretty much have locked up a Friday matchup. Um, Opponent to be determined. But what are you looking forward to out of this group of guys heading into the playoffs?
Just that same consistency, same effort, same intensity, same focus. I think this team is tired of being known as the team that plays pretty well in the regular season and then just doesn't show up on a Friday night for the playoffs. I think we'll see a different team this year. I'd say we're probably looking at somewhere between number 4 and 6 seed. A lot will be determined this weekend with some seeding and some last few league games. So hopefully by Monday we'll have a pretty good idea of who we're going to be playing Friday.
And the last question about the tournament. What is the key for you guys to make it all the way?
I think fast and focused starts. If we come out of the gate slow, it's hard to play from behind in any game, but especially these games that are amped up and a little more intense, a little more emotion. So you come out and get an early goal, first 5 minutes, something like that. Big play, first 5 minutes. It gets everybody into the game. makes it a little easier to get into the flow of the game. If we stay out of the box, those are the big keys. Score early and stay out of the box.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll do it for today's episode of the Gobbler Effect. Coach, thank you for joining us. Good luck this Friday and good luck in the ACCHL tournament. Best of luck. Go Hokies. I'm Chris Pierce. Thank you for watching here on the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. For if you don't got anything else to say, Coach, I think we are all set to go. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.